Welcome. When you look at a world map, your eyes go straight to the giants. Russia, Canada, China. But what about those tiny dots you barely notice? You might think, how quaint, how boring. But you couldn't be more wrong. The smallest countries often hide the wildest stories, riches to rags, nations for rent, and places fighting for their very existence. Big countries are like blockbuster movies, predictable, flashy. But these tiny nations? They're the indie films that surprise you. Some of the world's tiniest nations have the biggest, weirdest secrets. From underwater hotels to countries smaller than Central Park, what you're about to see will change how you see the world. Get ready for a whirlwind tour of the planet's most fascinatingly small, but mighty countries. Our first stop, Nauru, a Pacific island so small it doesn't even have a capital city. Just 21 square kilometers, ringed by turquoise waters and home to fewer than 13,000 people. It's a place that, at first glance, seems like a tropical paradise lost in the vast Pacific Ocean. In the 1970s and 80s, Nauru was one of the world's richest countries per capita. The islanders enjoyed a standard of living that rivaled the wealthiest nations, with modern amenities and luxuries that were the envy of their Pacific neighbors. The secret? Phosphate. Fossilized bird droppings, accumulated over thousands of years, forming a mineral treasure trove beneath the island's surface. The island was mined furiously, with heavy machinery carving out the land, and the money poured in at an astonishing rate. Nauruans enjoyed private jets, extravagant shopping trips to Australia, and a billion-dollar trust fund. The island's newfound wealth brought a taste of the high life to nearly every resident. But the phosphate ran out. The once rich deposits were exhausted, leaving behind empty pits and a landscape forever changed. The land was left devastated, 80% of it now a barren wasteland, stripped of soil and vegetation, with jagged limestone pinnacles where forests once stood. The wealth vanished through disastrous investments, including a failed London musical and risky property deals that drained the trust fund. Poor financial decisions compounded the environmental disaster. The airline was sold, the luxury disappeared, and Nauru went from riches to rags almost overnight. The islanders faced a harsh new reality. Today, Nauru faces irreversible environmental damage, and some of the world's highest rates of obesity and diabetes, a legacy of sudden wealth and imported lifestyles. To survive, Nauru controversially hosts an Australian immigration detention center, bringing new challenges, international scrutiny, and a complicated relationship with its powerful neighbor. Rising sea levels now threaten what's left of the island, putting Nauru on the front line of climate change. The ocean that once brought prosperity now brings fear. Nauru's story is a cautionary tale, a microcosm of what happens when natural resources are exploited without foresight, and when short-term gain overshadows long-term sustainability. It's a lesson in how quickly fortunes can change, and how environmental damage can last forever, leaving scars that may never heal. So next time you see Nauru on a map, remember, this tiny island holds a story bigger than most continents, a powerful reminder of the true cost of unsustainable progress. Now let's jet to Europe, where fairy tales and reality blur in the most unexpected ways. We're heading to the enchanting Principality of Liechtenstein, a tiny gem tucked between Switzerland and Austria, surrounded by breathtaking alpine scenery. It's so small, there's no airport of its own. You'll land in Zurich, then enjoy a scenic drive through the Swiss countryside to reach the border. Liechtenstein is renowned for its dramatic mountain views, charming villages, and pristine landscapes that look straight out of a storybook. It's also famous for its discreet banking sector and reputation as a tax haven, drawing in the world's elite. And, believe it or not, this tiny nation is the world's top producer of false teeth, exporting millions of dental prosthetics every year. But here's the wildest part. If you've ever dreamed of ruling your own kingdom, you can actually rent the entire country. For $70,000 a night, you and up to 150 friends get exclusive access to Liechtenstein, complete with a symbolic key to the country, custom-printed currency, and even the chance to rename the streets for your stay. The experience includes tobogganing, horse-drawn carriage rides, private wine tastings in the prince's centuries-old cellars, and a lavish feast inside the historic Vaduz Castle, where royalty still resides. It's the ultimate party trick. Imagine telling your friends you rented a whole country for the weekend. This rent-a-country scheme is a brilliant marketing move, putting Liechtenstein on the map for more than just its stamps, banks, and tax laws. Beyond the gimmick, Liechtenstein is one of only 2 doubly landlocked countries in the world, surrounded entirely by other landlocked nations. It boasts a remarkably high standard of living, spotless streets, and is famously one of the safest places on Earth. Its monarchy still holds real power, blending centuries-old tradition with cutting-edge modern industry and innovation. Liechtenstein proves you don't need size to have a big personality, or to make a global impact, whether in finance, culture, or sheer novelty. So if you ever win the lottery, forget the yacht, why not rent an entire country and live out your royal fantasy? Next we head to Monaco, a glittering microstate perched on the French Riviera, smaller than Central Park but absolutely bursting with wealth, glamour, and intrigue. Despite its tiny size, Monaco is a world-famous destination, drawing the attention of the rich and famous from every corner of the globe. Monaco is the ultimate playground of the ultra-rich, where 1 in 3 residents is a millionaire, and the streets are lined with supercars. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Bentleys are as common here as bicycles in Amsterdam, and the air buzzes with the energy of luxury and exclusivity. The secret behind Monaco's allure? No income tax since 1869, a policy that has turned this tiny nation into a magnet for celebrities, athletes, and business moguls from around the world. Here, fortunes are made and preserved, and privacy is fiercely protected. The country is dramatically built into cliffs above the sparkling Mediterranean, with luxury apartments clinging to the rocks, and the legendary Monte Carlo casino at its heart. The casino itself is a symbol of opulence, attracting high rollers and dreamers alike. Once a year, the Monaco Grand Prix transforms the city into a roaring Formula One racetrack, drawing global attention, celebrities, and wild parties. The streets become a blur of speed, excitement, and spectacle, making it one of the most iconic events in motorsport. Monaco is ruled by the Grimaldi family, with Prince Albert II at the helm, a royal dynasty that's lasted over 700 years. Their influence is woven into every aspect of Monaco's identity, from its traditions to its modern-day prestige. The fairy-tale marriage of Hollywood star Grace Kelly to Prince Rainier III cemented Monaco's image as a place of romance, royalty, and timeless elegance, captivating the world's imagination. But space is incredibly scarce, making Monaco one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Every square meter is precious, and the cityscape is a patchwork of tightly packed luxury. To keep up with demand, land is constantly reclaimed from the sea for new developments, an ongoing battle between nature and ambition as Monaco pushes the limits of what's possible. To live here, you need serious wealth, €500,000 in a Monaco bank just to apply for residency, and that's just the beginning. The cost of living is sky high, and exclusivity is the norm. Monaco is a state run like an exclusive club, where the price of admission is a fortune and the rewards are unmatched. Privacy, security, and a lifestyle few can even imagine. It's a dazzling blend of old-world royalty, modern finance, and high-speed thrills. A tiny country with a reputation larger than life, where every day feels like a scene from a movie and the extraordinary is simply the norm. Leaving Monaco, we visit San Marino, completely surrounded by Italy and the world's oldest surviving republic. Founded in 301 AD by a Christian stonemason fleeing persecution, San Marino has remained independent for over 1,700 years. It's survived empires, wars, and the unification of Italy thanks to diplomacy and its mountaintop location. The capital, also San Marino, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Cobblestone streets, medieval walls, and breathtaking views. The 3 towers of San Marino dominate the skyline and are national symbols, even appearing on their own euro coins. San Marino's government is unique. 2 captains regents serve as heads of state for just 6 months at a time, a system designed to prevent any one person from gaining too much power. Despite its age, San Marino is a living country of 34,000 people, with its own military, mostly ceremonial, and a proud crossbow corps. The economy relies on tourism, banking, and collectible stamps and coins. San Marino famously sheltered Garibaldi, helping secure its independence during Italy's unification. It's a quiet, dignified testament to endurance, a tiny enclave that's outlasted empires and preserved its unique identity. Back to the Pacific, we find Tuvalu, a nation of 9 coral atolls just 26 square kilometers and only 4.5 meters above sea level at its highest point. Rising seas threaten to erase Tuvalu from the map. Saltwater floods homes, poisons crops, and contaminates fresh water. For Tuvalu's 11,000 people, climate change isn't theory, it's daily life. King tides submerge roads and even the airport. Tuvalu's leaders have become global voices, demanding action at climate summits and delivering speeches knee-deep in seawater. Facing the worst, Tuvalu is creating a digital nation, mapping islands, recording culture, and preserving identity online. The goal, even if the land disappears, Tuvalu will survive in the digital realm, forcing the world to rethink what it means to be a country. Ironically, Tuvalu's TV internet domain brings in millions, funding their fight for survival. Life continues with resilience. Families gather on the airport runway for volleyball as the sun sets. Tuvalu is a tiny nation sounding a massive alarm, a story of injustice, courage, and innovation in the face of extinction. Our final stop, Vatican City, the world's smallest country, just 0.44 square kilometers inside Rome. With fewer than 1,000 residents, mostly clergy and Swiss guards, it's minuscule in size but immense in influence. Vatican City is the heart of the Roman Catholic Church, spiritual home to 1.3 billion people. The Pope is both monarch and global leader. His words shape world events. The Vatican has its own bank, post office, radio station, and even an ATM in Latin. It's a blend of ancient tradition and modern necessity. The city is a living museum. St. Peter's Basilica, the Vatican Museums, and the Sistine Chapel are world treasures. The economy runs on donations, tourism, and collectible coins and stamps. The Vatican secret archives add an air of mystery, fueling centuries of intrigue. Vatican City is a paradox, the smallest country, yet a global powerhouse, tiny, mighty, and packed with history. From a Pacific Island's riches-to-rags tale to a kingdom you can rent, a billionaire's playground, and a 1700-year-old republic, who knew so much drama could fit in such small places? These nations prove that size doesn't matter, it's the story that counts. Small countries are clever, resilient, and often a little eccentric. They carve out unique niches through tax laws, tourism, or by becoming the world's conscience on climate change. They're the footnotes on the map that turn out to be the most compelling chapters. There's always more to discover, especially in the places we least expect. Next time you look at a map, don't blink. You might miss a country more fascinating than the giants. These tiny titans have stories as grand and inspiring as any superpower. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep exploring.